Welcome back to the channel, darlings. Today is another group test of Snowfoams, and particularly I'm doing Garage Therapy Snowfoam versus Bilt Hamber Touchless and Bilt Hamber Autofoam. Bearing in mind that based on the other evidence I provided in the previous video up there, the Autofoam and Touchless are by far and away the best kits I've used. Now, I know that the Garage Therapy product is supposed to be very good, and it's more, product-wise, it's more in line with Touchless than Autofoam. Anyway, the review done by Forensic Detailing a couple of weeks ago was pretty poor of the product in terms of it said it wasn't particularly good, but also it was a particularly poor test. So I'm going to try and do my test to get my own opinions on it and share those with you. So I'm going to get changed, going to get set up, and I'll see you after the intro. Okay, I've just taken a still to capture how dirty this is because I'm not sure it's going to come across too well on the ultra wide angle lens. Anyway, it's been about a month. It's done about 1,000 miles, motorway, local roads. It's been down to the seaside, so it's got a really good mix of crud over the back. Underneath it is 10-month-old Geon can coat, so that's on its last legs now. But yeah, it has got a coating on there of some sorts. So the test is going to be the maximum dilution strength that the manufacturer recommends. So for Bilt Hamber Touchless, it's 5% PIR, puddle impact ratio. For Autofoam, it is 4% PIR. Now, Garage Therapy, and I'm very pleased to say this, also use PIR as well as dilution in the bottle, dilution like ratios in the bottle, but they also have a PIR recommendation. So their maximum is 3% PIR. That's cool. The dilution ratio that John used in his forensic detailing video would have equated to about less than 1% PIR from the ratios I would use, the quantities I would use, sorry. So that's why it didn't really do anything, in my opinion. And he also used the MJJC Lance, the foam cannon, which is very good at making very thick foam. It's very dry foam, so it doesn't really, it clings well, but it doesn't have much product in it. I don't use that Lance, I use the one from Detail Driven, like this. Yeah, there are a lot of other ones on the market that look just like this, so that's just their one. And that's what I'm going to use, so yeah, 3% PIR for the Garage Therapy. The Garage Therapy here, Touchless in the middle. I'm going to put these two next to each other because they're kind of very similar styles of products, and then Autofoam on that flank over there. Right, let me get it apply, 5 minutes dwell time between the lot, and then we'll power wash it off. Now, if you're thinking, my, that foam for the Touchless looks pretty thin, it is. I'd accidentally had the dilution dial turned open a bit on the top of the Lance, because last time I used the Lance I was doing it at a weaker dilution for that Porsche, and I hadn't closed it again fully to get the maximum PIR that I would normally get. So what we're looking at here is about 1% PIR for the Garage Therapy, probably about 3% for the Touchless, and about 2% for the Autofoam. I realised that when I was rinsing it off. Okay, I'm going to take the still of this in a minute so we can really see, but there's actually a clear difference. Touchless in the middle here is better than either of the others at its dilution there, which is about 3%. This is actually fairly consistent. This is about that sort of 1%, if not less, for the Garage Therapy, and that's similar to what Forensic Detailing had. Anyway, I'm going to take a still so we can see it in better clarity, and then I'll go off and do the side panel, but at full strength. So 3% dilution PIR for the garage therapy, 4% for auto foam, and 5% over this very loud plane that's flying overhead for the touchless. Cleanability is one thing, cost is another. All of these products can be bought as 5 litres, so that's what I'm basing the calculations of. Garage therapy foam is £35 for 5 litres, auto foam is £17, and the touchless is £20. Now, to fill up my litre bottle on my foam lance, to get 3% PIR for the garage therapy, I need 450ml. That equates to £3.15. For the auto foam, to get 4% PIR, I need 600ml. That equates to £2.04. And for the touchless to get 5% PIR, because that's its maximum, I need 750ml, and that equates to £3. Now, for that litre of premixed solution in the foam bottle, you should get 2 to 3 cars. Okay, here we are, 5 minutes later. What can we see? Well, everything's still on the panel a little bit. The panel's quite wet. Garage therapy foam is definitely like foamier, so thicker consistency when it comes up. You can see there's more bubbles still on the panel. Bubbles mean nothing though, do they? Let's get into rinsing them off and see how they clean up. Okay, so this is the intersection here. Over here you had touchless, and over here you had the garage therapy Snowfoam. If I run my finger across, clearly, as you'd expect, still some dirt. Let's give it a quick blast off. Is one better than the other? Nah, hard to say in that sense. Yeah, naturally, I think the touchless here has actually done a better job at the cleaning. It's stronger. So that has something to do with it. This part of the door may be a little bit cleaner anyway because it's in the middle, not right behind the wheel. I would. Well, we'll go over and look at the auto foam side as well, because that was at the back and that was actually very dirty too. I'm leaning toward auto foam here. Part of that is the sheer cost of the garage therapy foam. To get that up to 3% is almost double the cost. It is double the cost, if not a bit more than auto foam, and it's not as good. So, by way of consistent comparison, this bit was auto foam, this bit was touchless. Could do the swipe through here. The rear arch is pretty dirty, as you can see at the beginning. Still, clearly a dirty car underneath all of this, but the auto foam is fairly comparable here to the touchless, if a little bit better, I think. But, you know, comparable. This is going to need a contact wash. It's a dirty car. But both of these are still better than the garage therapy in my opinion. Let me just take you around to the very back, show you something interesting here. This is from the crossover area, where in the initial test here I had 1% dilution of the garage therapy, and then I had the full strength 4% PIR of auto foam here, and that's for the crossover. The auto foam clearly cleaned a lot more than the garage therapy did, granted. That was at a weak dilution, again, granted. So, should we get onto some conclusions? I think so. Okay, so I hope that was a good test from your perspective. I know there's some argument or opinion on dilution rates, if you should use panel impact ratio and the manufacturer's rate or do them all at the same dilution. My argument and opinion is the manufacturers suggest a dilution rate for a reason, and that's what I would work to. So, especially when it's panel impact ratio, I'll go with what the manufacturer recommends rather than doing them all exactly the same, because that's their recommendation. It's a pretty clear one for me, actually. It's still Bilt Hamber auto foam all day long, which is why I just bought 25 litres of it. There you go. Hope that was useful. I will see you in the next one.